Enlightenment in Mahayana Buddhism, Liberation and the Bodhisattva. Path introduction within the rich tapestry of Buddhist traditions. Mahayana Buddhism stands out for its distinctive vision of enlightenment and the path to liberation. While the early Buddhist schools emphasized individual emancipation through the attainment of nirvana, the cessation of suffering and the extinguishing of desire, Mahayana broadened this horizon. It introduced a more expansive goal, not only personal liberation but also the compassionate vow to liberate all sentient beings. At the heart of this ideal lies the Bodhisattva path, a profound spiritual journey characterized by boundless compassion, infinite wisdom, and selfless dedication. In Mahayana thought, enlightenment Bodhi is not an escape from the world but a transformative realization of emptiness, nyat, and interdependence, which allows one to act skillfully and compassionately within the world. Liberation, therefore, is inseparable from compassionate engagement, making enlightenment a relational, dynamic, and ever-unfolding reality. This essay explores the Mahayana understanding of enlightenment, the notion of liberation, and the pivotal role of Bodhisattva practice in actualizing this vision. Enlightenment in Mahayana, a reinterpretation of Bodhi in early Buddhism. Enlightenment is often described as the realization of the Four Noble Truths and the cessation of craving leading to nirvana. Mahayana does not deny this, but it redefines enlightenment in broader, more cosmic terms. For Mahayana, enlightenment is not only the cessation of suffering but also the direct realization of emptiness, the insight that all phenomena are devoid of inherent existence and arise only through dependent origination. Pratitya, the enlightened being sees through the illusion of permanence, selfhood, and duality. This realization carries two major implications. Ontological transformation: one no longer clings to the notion of an independent self. All things are interdependent processes, not isolated entities. Ethical transformation: understanding interdependence naturally gives rise to compassion, for the suffering of others is not separate from one's own. Thus, in Mahayana, enlightenment is not an individual achievement to be hoarded, but a relational awakening that blossoms as wisdom, project, and compassion. Karawa in equal measure, liberation in Mahayana, beyond personal nerve bane, the Theravada tradition. Liberation is often envisioned as the attainment of arhatship, freedom from the cycle of rebirth, samsara. Mahayana, while respecting this goal, critiques it as incomplete or limited. It introduces the idea of two levels of nirvana: personal nirvana, haine, an ideal liberation from suffering for oneself; nan, abiding nirvana, ideal liberation that does not abide in the peace of nirvana but returns compassionately to the world of samsara to benefit others. This distinction highlights a central Mahayana theme. The enlightened being does not withdraw from the world but remains actively engaged. True liberation is not the end of activity but the freedom to serve without attachment. In texts like the Vimalokiti, Nerd Astra, and Lotus Skra, the enlightened Bodhisattva embodies this paradox, dwelling in nirvana while also dwelling in samsara, fully liberated yet fully engaged. The Bodhisattva ideal, compassionate commitment. At the heart of Mahayana lies the Bodhisattva vow. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to realize it. This vow transforms the spiritual path into a cosmic mission. The Bodhisattva renounces final entry into Nerve Bay until all beings are liberated. Such an aspiration requires immense courage, compassion, and patience. Unlike the Arhat who seeks personal release, the Bodhisattva embodies the union of wisdom and compassion, striving tirelessly to benefit others. This altruistic orientation is the defining feature of Mahayana practice, the six perfections. From its foundations of the Bodhisattva, Patha Bodhisattva cultivates enlightenment through the six. From its perfections, DNA, generosity, offering material, emotional, and spiritual support without attachment. Allah, ethical discipline, upholding morality and integrity for the benefit of all beings. KJNT, patience, enduring hardship, insult, and suffering with equanimity. Vriya, diligence, energy, sustaining enthusiastic effort in the pursuit of awakening. Dhyana, meditative concentration, cultivating mindfulness and deep states of meditation. Projik, wisdom, realizing emptiness and the non-duality of self and others together. These perfections provide the ethical and spiritual infrastructure for the Bodhisattva path. They ensure that compassion is guided by wisdom, and wisdom is infused with compassion. Emptiness, niyat, and compassion. The twin pillars. One of Mahayana's greatest philosophical contributions is the doctrine of emptiness. Articulated by Nagarjuna in the Amhimaka, emptiness does not mean nihilism. Rather, it reveals that all phenomena are interdependent and lack intrinsic essence. From this view, compassion becomes the natural response. If no self exists independently, then the suffering of others is inseparable from one's own being. The Bodhisattva acts compassionately, not out of moral obligation, but out of direct realization of interdependence. Thus, praj, wisdom, and karu, compassion, are inseparable. Enlightenment in Mahayana is not complete without both. Skillful means upja, compassion in action. A meva hallmark of Mahayana is the concept of upja or skillful means, recognizing that beings have different capacities and dispositions. The Bodhisattva employs diverse methods, teachings, practices, even paradoxical actions to guide them toward liberation. The lotus scra illustrates this vividly in the parable of the burning house, where the Buddha uses expedient devices to lead children to safety. Skillful means thus represents the flexibility and creativity of enlightened compassion. The cosmic dimension of enlightenment, Aona, also expands enlightenment beyond the individual to a cosmic scale. It envisions countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas across infinite realms, all working tirelessly for the liberation of beings. Figures such as Avalokiteshvara Guanyin, the Bodhisattva of compassion, or Manju, are the Bodhisattva of wisdom, embody universal aspects of enlightenment. This cosmic vision inspires practitioners with faith and devotion, reminding them that the path of awakening is vast, timeless, and supported by innumerable awakened beings. Enlightenment as process, not destination in Mahayana thought. Enlightenment is both a sudden realization and a gradual cultivation, while ultimate wisdom may dawn in a single moment of insight. The full embodiment of that wisdom requires lifetimes of practice. The Bodhisattva path is thus infinite in scope. Rather than a final goal to be reached, enlightenment becomes an ever-deeper process of awakening, manifesting in compassionate action across countless lifetimes. Conclusion, liberation, and Bodhisattva practice in Mahayana Buddhism. Enlightenment is reimagined as a relational, dynamic realization that unites wisdom and compassion. Liberation is not withdrawal from the world, but engagement with the world, free from attachment. The Bodhisattva, through vows, perfections, and skillful means, embodies this vision by working tirelessly for the welfare of all beings. This expansive ideal elevates the meaning of spiritual practice beyond individual salvation, affirming that true enlightenment is inseparable from the liberation of others. In the Mahayana perspective, to awaken is not simply to be free, but to be free for the sake of others.